You're on.
Hey everybody, my name is Tom from Xiaomi and I'm with Paul from Geeky Stuff.
Hello.
And today is a very special day for us. Today is Xiaomi Friday. And for those of you that are wondering what is Xiaomi Friday, it's very similar to Black Friday, but it's our own version. So what that means is that today we will bring you lots of cool exclusive offers. In fact, for those of you that are tuned in today, you should notice a code at the bottom of the screen. And if you use this code, you'll be able to get £10 off all orders over £150. Now, this is just one discount of many that we'll be running. And we're here today, especially with Paul, who is obviously a tech expert, to take you through just some of the products that we have. So where shall we start? I think one of my favourite phones, and certainly a very popular one, is the Redmi Note series. So let's talk about Redmi Note 10 Pro, because I know that's a phone that you've used before.
Yeah, I reviewed that back in March, and back then it was probably the smartphone of the year that I was using until the Mi 11 Ultra come along. That's a different story. But the Redmi Note 10 Pro offers affordability. It's got 120 Hz AMOLED refresh rate display as well. It's got a great camera system, and all in all, I think it's just the affordability and the performance. It's just got that perfect balance. I'd probably recommend that to most sort of general average users, really.
You're right, because I guess most people, when they buy a smartphone, they're looking for, I guess, camera, probably battery life, display as well. So in terms of like camera, like how good is the camera?
The camera is obviously it's not a flagship device, but I mean the camera still gets the dynamic range right the most of the time. Video quality is very good as well. I think overall the camera system is very good for for the price you pay for that.
Because
that device.
It's 108 megapixels, right? Which is the same that you would see on some of the flagship devices, even more megapixels than you'd see on some
that's
phones.
right. Yeah.
And the display as well, a lot of people are talking about refresh rate. And I guess if I'm new, like, why should I care about refresh rate, and how good is it on the 10 Pro?
I think it just makes using the phone feel more smoother. So when you're scrolling, it's a lot smoother. It's not sort of jaggedy, which you do get in maybe like 60 Hz standard phones. It's not a smooth experience. But with that AMOLED 120 Hz refresh rate on that, it's a smooth experience.
Cool. And what about things like battery and charging? Xiaomi's kind of known for its fast chargeability. Do you get that sort of stuff with the 10 Pro?
The 10 Pro battery life was really good. And then the 12.5 MIUI update was installed, and battery life on that got even better. I think I nearly got like 12 hours screen on time once before.
Amazing, yeah.
So battery life is incredible. It really is.
Awesome. And guys, we are also checking for questions. So if you have like specific questions for Paul or myself about perhaps the products or the deals or anything at all, even throw some random ones at us, we'll be fielding questions as well. Okay, so we have the 10 Pro, which is on sale. It's on offer now. I advise you to go check out me.com. There are other outlets as well, such as Amazon, you can purchase through. Another phone which is part of that awesome Redmi Note 10 series is the Redmi Note 10S.
Yeah.
So kind of like a younger brother to the 10 Pro.
Yeah. It's
kind of, what are the main differences? Or
it's stripped back. I never actually used one myself, but on the Note 10S, they're using a MediaTek chip. So the camera resolution is obviously slightly lower as well. But on the whole, I think it's still going to be a great smartphone for most people out there.
Cool. And just looking at, I guess, the camera and how it compares, obviously the 10 Pro, it's got that big 108 megapixel.
Yeah.
This is slightly smaller, right, in terms of...
Yeah, so 64 on the 10S and then obviously 108 on the 10 Pro. But I think for the average sort of consumer, are they really going to notice any sort of difference? I mean, for tech heads like... I sort of class myself as a tech head, and a lot of tech heads, and people are gonna probably notice the difference. But
on
the whole, probably not.
Okay, cool. And actually, I have one here that I forgot to pick up earlier.
10S,
but here it is, so you can see. So actually, the 10S, the 10S. So it's a quad camera, right? And you may be asking, why do you need a quad camera? So quad camera just means you get 4 sort of lenses.
Yeah. So the main camera, ultra wide, might be telephoto or macro.
Yeah, so it's macro, ultra wide, main, and a depth sensor. So that means you can get those zoomed out landscape pics, the really up close ones, and the depth sensor sort of allows you to create that blurred aperture look that you see in some professionals.
That bokeh sort of effect.
Yeah. Cool. And the screen as well. It is an AMOLED screen, so it still looks really sexy, really bright colours. You don't get the
you don't get the 120 hertz, but I mean for the price that is at the moment,
exactly.
It's still an AMOLED display as well, which a lot of people love.
So if you want to find out more about the 10S or the 10 Pro and kind of compare and see which ones or which device you think better suits you, as well as see the great offers, then I advise you to go onto me.com now and look at those products. Also, don't forget to use the discount code that we have at the bottom of the screen as well to get some further money off, because it is Xiaomi Friday after all. Okay, cool. Let's move on a bit now. I'm not talking about the Redmi 10S in particular, but just, I guess, why we have you on today, Paul, and kind of your link with the Xiaomi brand and how you got into Xiaomi and which products you like.
Yeah, so my name's Paul. I have a channel called Geeky Stuff. Started reviewing tech in around 2016, and then it wasn't until probably around 2017 when I started finding Xiaomi products. I had a Xiaomi security camera, and then one phone that really piqued my interest and a lot of people's interest was the Xiaomi Mi A1. Big forehead, big chin, but that was a really popular phone. So from 2017, really, I then had the Mi A2, I had the Mi A3, I had some Redmi Note phones as well. And then, it's just sort of grown from then, really. I mean, I just review tech, I use it for a couple of weeks, and then I'll just give my honest opinion and review on that tech.
Awesome, and there are, Xiaomi doesn't just do smartphones, as I'm sure most of you know, as Paul said, they do a lot of different stuff, and we'll have somebody on a bit later to talk you through some of the different products that we do. But we're going to stick with smartphones for a bit longer anyway. And just looking at some of the questions, Paul asking about specific Mi 11 vouchers. I don't know if we have any specific Mi 11 vouchers, but you can use the discount code on your Mi 11 purchase. If you go onto me.com, you get that £10 off for orders over 150. And I believe we are doing some Xiaomi Friday and sort of Black Friday deals on the Mi 11. So if you go onto the website, it'll give you all the details there. And please keep those questions coming in. Here's a good question for you, Paul, is if we gave you £1,000, which is actually quite a lot of money, or a similar amount, how would you spend it on your what would you buy today if we gave you that money?
Xiaomi related.
Please.
I'd probably buy that fryer on this right next to you there, and probably the Note 10, the Note 10 Pro, and maybe a security camera as well, or something like that. Yeah, exactly. There's so many different things you can buy. Yeah, there is. There's loads of stuff.
For me, I think I'm not sure if Joe's going to talk about it later, but I love the scooters. So I'll probably get one of those, and I'm a big fan of the Mi 11 Lite, which I think we'll talk about later on, because that's a phone I've used and I really love. Okay, cool. Let's go on and talk about some of our most recent smartphones, which is the Xiaomi 11T series. So some of you will have seen that we launched them quite recently. In fact, I think Paul,
I actually got one now.
You have the Pro version. So why don't you just tell us sort of a bit more about it and what you like about it and your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I got this yesterday, so I've been using it for about a day. Obviously, the standout feature of this is the 120 watt fast charging, super fast charging. I mean, Xiaomi have 60 watt fast charging as well, which is still fast. But this 120 watts, it's got 120 hertz AMOLED display as well, and from what I've seen at the moment as well, the camera system seems to be very good, sort of similar to the Mi 11 Ultra as well, but sort of not as pinnacle as the 11 Ultra, but it's looking really good. It's looking nice.
Yeah, the fast charge, like the 120 watt fast charge, just to put that into perspective, you can charge like 100%, I think in 17 minutes, like so under 20 minutes, you can almost have a dead battery to go like fully charged again.
That's right, yeah.
Because usually like for me, I usually put my phone onto charge like when I go to bed, which I think most people do.
Yeah.
But to be able to just plug it in, and within like 15, 20 minutes,
that's right, yeah,
you're completely back up.
Yeah, it is. It's a totally another level, than what I'm used to. But yeah, I go to bed and put it on charge, and when you wake up, it's already charged already. But I suppose there are people out there who, won't do that, and they'll want to just plug it in for 10 minutes to get a fast charge, and then they're good to go.
I think that feature is incredible and sort of game changing. And one of our technical experts was explaining kind of how they did it, and then it's like breaking up the battery, and so they can charge different parts quickly.
That's right.
So the technology and R&D that's gone into it is quite mind bending.
Yeah.
And then the display as well.
120 hertz.
120 hertz, which is kind of like the industry standard. I don't think anyone does. I don't even know if you need it quicker than 120 hertz.
Yeah, there are some people 144 hertz. I think I've seen before. But this year it's been all about refresh rates and super fast charging for phones this year.
Yeah.
And Xiaomi have delivered on there as well.
And then, so that is the Pro version. There are two versions that we released. So there's the T Pro and the 11T. So what are the major differences, or what can a consumer expect to be different if they get the base version?
The 11T Pro has Snapdragon 888.
Yeah.
Whereas the standard version is just MediaTek. It's a MediaTek chip.
Okay, and so for normal people that aren't into tech, like how do you simplify, like what's a Snapdragon 888?
A Snapdragon 888 is a processor, so what you get in a PC, processing power. And MediaTek is, I suppose you call it sort of a competitor really. So MediaTek is a CPU as well.
So they're just different brands of
it's like the brain in the smartphones, different brands.
Okay, and the Snapdragon 888 is the newest one from Qualcomm, and then the MediaTek is the fastest from MediaTek.
There are 888 Plus smartphones as well, but 888 is pretty much the top at the moment. And then the MediaTek is aimed maybe towards the more sort of budget-friendly smartphones, MediaTek. But MediaTek are actually coming on a lot now and making some really powerful chips. Okay,
cool. So perhaps if you need the most powerful, then the Pro is perhaps a better option for you. So if you're into I don't know, what would be the most demanding thing, perhaps like gaming or something?
Yeah, I suppose gaming. Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, even like mid-range devices still handle games really well. I do some gaming reviews on my channel sometimes, and even the mid-range MediaTek, they still smash through the games.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I think for me, I always like to go in for the top.
Yeah, I'm the same. You just want the best, the best, so you know that you're kind of future.
Yeah, but I mean, in all fairness, these mid-range devices still hold their own.
Yeah, and it's and the only other change with the T versus the T Pro is that you get 67 watt fast charging, which again is still like ridiculously fast.
Yeah, that's still that is really fast. Yeah.
Yeah. So the T Pro is almost like a showcase of all processing power and charging, and you still get the 108 megapixel camera, and it's our latest, I guess, flagship that we have as a brand.
Yeah.
So, all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, it's just whatever the consumer wants.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
they've got a good choice.
Yeah, exactly, and it's all about giving that choice depending what your budget is, and everybody uses their phone for different things.
Yeah, definitely.
And just to remind you, those are both on offer. So if you go to me.com or through Amazon, you can check out the offers. With me.com, obviously we do have that coupon code. So at the bottom of the screen, you'll be able to put that into the me.com website and get an additional £10 off. Cool. One of the other phones that I wanted to talk about, that annoyingly we don't have here just right this second, is the 11 Lite 5G NE. A bit of a mouthful. The NE is the new edition version. Have you had hands-on with the Mi 11 Lite before? Are you familiar with them?
At the launch event a couple of months ago, I actually held the Lite 5G NE, and Do you know what? I love the Mi 11 Ultra, but I think that is until you hold it and feel it, you don't realise how light, and it just feels absolutely amazing. And is it the snowy colour?
There's a snowflake. White. Yeah, snowflake. Oh, yeah, they all
snowflake
have
white.
Different names. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I held, and absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
it's so light. It's so refreshing coming from a big, sort of heavy phone, and then you're holding that. It's like, how on earth have Xiaomi done it? You know?
I know what you mean. I have an Ultra. And the Ultra, I love the Ultra, you know, we're talking about getting the best of the best, and that is a phone that does it.
Yeah.
But it is quite heavy when
you compare
when you compare it to the Lite, which is, I mean, we've got here the specs like 158 grams. I don't know how you quantify that, but it is one of the lightest phones and thinnest as well.
Yeah.
But
I love it. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, it's something quite different as well. You know, a lot of phones now kind of deliver, broadly speaking, in a lot of the same departments, but this you really feel immediately as soon as you pick it up, it's different.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably recommend that and the Redmi Note 10 Pro to sort of average consumers, really. Obviously, that I think is a little bit more expensive than the 10 Pro, but
it is.
Both great phones.
And that comes with a 90 hertz refresh rate, so we talked about that smooth, so it's still got that smooth. It's an improvement over a traditional 60 hertz.
Yeah, definitely.
And lots of exciting colours, AMOLED screen, all the sort of quality that you would expect from a sort of Xiaomi phone.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about perhaps one of the biggest offers that we have on in terms of like money off. Phones, the Redmi Note 9 and the Redmi 9. So for the Redmi Note 9, which is the predecessor of the 10 series that we were just talking about, it has a massive like 40% off.
Wow.
And for the Redmi 9, 50% off. Now, I know you've been a Xiaomi fan for a while, Paul. I'm not sure whether you've had these phones or you know much about them.
No, I've never had that. The closest one I've had was the Redmi 9A, which there is a review on my channel actually for that. That was a really nice phone with a nice display, but for that's that money off 40% is quite amazing, really.
Exactly. And like I said, it all kind of depends what your budget is and what you want from a phone. But just because it's the predecessor, you know, last year's generation, often you can get the best deals there.
Yeah.
And for the Redmi 9, you know, it still has a quad camera, so you can still have the wide, what do they call it?
Ultra
wide, that's it. And the sort of close-up macro. It's full HD plus screen.
It's still got a lot of great features, even though it's like a previous sort of version. So.
Exactly, and things like the battery as well, over 5,000 milliamp.
Yeah.
So really encourage you guys to go onto the website and have a look, specifically the Redmi 9 and Redmi Note 9, to check out those amazing offers.
Definitely.
And also, if you have any more questions, you know, we talked a lot about smartphones. We've got some non-smartphone products coming up that my colleague Joe is going to talk about, and just seeing if people are talking about. There's a lot of love, I think, for the Pad 5.
Yes.
So yes, you know, we realise it sold out quite quickly, I think, through popular demand. But I think there are some units out there. If you can't immediately find it on me.com, I advise you to check out our official store on Amazon.
I've recommended that to my sister as well, the Pad 5, but she said, well, it's out of stock at the moment. So it is a popular,
really is.
Tablet. It's really nice. I like it. I think Snapdragon 860, 120 hertz AMOLED display.
Yeah.
What else do you need?
This is it here. Exactly, for an Android tablet, this is, I think, you know, as good as you can get or as good as you need. So yes, advise you to look at our official store on Amazon as well as our own me.com to see when it comes back in stock. And I'm afraid the Pro version isn't available in the UK right now, but who needs a Pro version when you have this version? It really is good. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, we've talked a lot about the smartphones. We're now going to talk about some different products. So I'm going to bring my colleague Joe on. So we're going to have like a brief interlude where we're going to show you a really cool video. So yeah, without further ado, let's roll the video and we'll talk about some other products.
Smart living for everyone.
Hello, welcome back to our live stream. I guess for those who don't know me, my name is Joe. I'll be joining Paul here. I am the head of non-mobile for Xiaomi UK, so great to see everybody joining our live stream. I am here because obviously, as Thomas said, we have some other products to discuss, and as many of you might know, Xiaomi is not just a smartphone company. Xiaomi does a lot more than a smartphone. We have a lot of smart IoT tech. Some of these you will see dotted around our table. Of course, what's the point of having a smartphone if you can't use the smart function of the phone? So, Paul, question for you.
Yeah.
How much do you know about our no-mobile smart devices in Xiaomi?
I mean, quite a lot. I mean, we have the Mi Watch Lite. There's also the Mi Watch and the Mi Band 6 as well. Both three great sort of wearable devices. I think the one that stands out, or the two that stands out, is the Mi Watch Lite and the Mi Watch, because they both have built-in GPS.
Yeah.
So if you're going on a run, which I don't really normally do, you don't have to worry about taking your phone. You can just have it strapped to your wrist. GPS will track it, and then you just sync with the app when you get home. If I had to pick one out of these three, it would probably be the watch, probably because of the more sort of more of a sort of a fashion statement. It looks really cool compared to like maybe the Mi Band 6, sort of just a narrow thing. But I think that looks fashionably better than the Mi Band 6. That would be my pick, I think.
Cool. Yes. I mean, I think many of you watching this might already be using a Xiaomi Band. It is one of our most popular products in the UK, and as Paul rightly said, a lot and people keep you ask a lot on Facebook, etc., about the difference between our watches and Mi Band. And as Paul already says, the main difference will be in the GPS functionality. Aside from that, with the band and the watch, we also have blood oxygen saturation, which is very important for those of you who are very health conscious, want to keep track of your health aside from the normal heart rate, rhythm, etc. So the wearable is kind of our keystone for our smart products. Very interesting, very health orientated for us. But we obviously don't do just wearable devices. We also have, you can see on my right here, an air fryer. So this is our Xiaomi Mi Smart Air Fryer. Some of you may have seen this in our kind of launches in the past few months. Have you seen this, Paul?
Yeah, I saw it a couple of months ago. Me and my partner have been talking about getting a fryer. She even sent me a message earlier because we just have oven chips, and yeah, I was quite surprised to see that actually. I think Xiaomi does do so many different things. It looks pretty cool. Sync with your the Mi Home app as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is the standard kind of Xiaomi modern white design.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean it's wipeable as well by the looks of it. So
yeah, and obviously we know a lot of companies do smart air fryers. What is different from our smart air fryer is the fact that obviously, as we most do, our product is smart. What that means is that it connects, as you said, it connects to the app, but also on the app you will have over 100 different recipes. Those of you that have never used an air fryer will probably underestimate how powerful an air fryer is. I know a lot of people, myself included, when I first used an air fryer, I kind of burnt my chicken wings because in the oven it takes like 40 minutes to cook chicken wing. On this it takes 80 minutes. So it's very hard to get the temperature and the timing right sometimes.
Right. On
the recipe, on the app, you click the thing you want to cook. It will set the temperature. It will set the time for you. You don't have to worry about anything. It will even tell you and remind you on your phone to take it out and give it a little flip to make sure that everything is crispy on both sides.
That's clever.
So that's our air fryer. And obviously, we kind of have a limited selection. We have a limited amount of time, so we're not going to go through every single one of our smart devices. You can probably see them on our website. Anything particular outside of these, Paul, that catches your eyes when you're thinking about maybe?
Yeah, I think I quite like security cameras and stuff. So Xiaomi do the 360 smart camera, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
That looks like a pretty cool product. Scooters,
Yes.
Them,
I think Thomas
incredible.
mentioned the scooters. Yes.
Yeah, scooters are great. What else? They even do toothbrushes.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing how much,
We do so much.
so much. Yeah.
For myself, I actually been. We actually one of our newer products on our me.com is a game monitor. If those of you that are kind of regular visitors to our website might have seen it. I've been trying it out. Very nice.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's 35 inches, so it's
wow.
very wide, very high resolution. So loads of things for you to check out. All of these products, as well as some other products, will be going out on various discounts on over Black Friday, either on our channels, for example, Very, Currys, etc., as well as on website on me.com. I believe on me.com there is a coupon code, which I believe should be
On the bottom
here.
of the screen should be, yeah.
I think it is. Let me see if I can find it. No, I cannot find it, but it should be down here. I've been given a thumbs up, so it should be down here. If you cannot read this, I apologize. Okay. So I think that essentially brings us to the end of our live stream. I would like to thank Paul here for joining us today.
No, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
And I want to thank everybody at home or in the office. You shouldn't be watching this if you're in the office working. But if you're in the office, thank you for watching as well. And we will see you next time. Hopefully you enjoy your Black Friday.